I'm saying? And there's a good brother named, let me get that one too. There's a good brother named Ross Ben, part of our community, who has written a phenomenal book. You know, pass me the computer books. Get the, yeah, there's a brother that has written a phenomenal book, right? This book right here. Free your mind and your mind will follow, okay? This is about a legend, Ross Ben, all right? Shout out to Ross Ben. Shout out to
Yeah, peace and love out there, family and friends. Making another short video. This video basically I'm doing about a book that I read recently, okay, by a brother named Ross Ben. Okay, book I'm reading, I haven't finished it. And the book is called Free Your Mound, Free Your Mind. Okay, one of the most profound books out at this time. Now I know, a lot of people wondering, well, what is this book about? Why is it so special? Well, in there, it basically goes into the mounds all over, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, but it gives a new perspective on it and how the mounds deal with a science called the science of geomancy. Okay, these mounds were built by our ancient ancestors thousands and thousands of years ago. There are different types of mounds, earth mounds. I'm gonna have some pictures after I finish speaking for a few minutes and give people a visual of what I'm talking about. But Ross Ben is a brother. He has a few books out. One on crystals, Rock of All Ages, and he has another one, 5G, which is very good as well. But I found the mound book very interesting for a lot of reasons. And what it goes into is the electromagnetic field and how the mounds actually, they're like meridians on a body, on Earth. And there's more of them in America than anywhere in the world, which shows you significance of America and the power of the place, okay? And the indigenous people of the land resonate very powerfully with these points, with these mound points. Wherever these mounds are, there's a tremendous amount of energy that can be tapped, and hundreds of them throughout the United States, thousands, according to the book, according to the book. And these mounds, some are famous, like Serpent Mound, many may know, the Etowah Mounds in Georgia and Cartersville, Rock Eagle, which I've been to, the Akamuji, if I'm pronouncing that right, mounds near Macon, Georgia. And these mounds were put there and lined up with the meridians or the electromagnetic grid of the planet. It's a science. It's a spiritual indigenous science. Okay, almost like the pyramids were placed on certain points of the earth, so were mounds. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, well, these mounds were just places of burial. They just buried, no, they buried their dead there because it was sacred ground. Okay, the latter Indians, because these Indians, these Mongoloid Indians, or the Indians in which came later on through the Bering Straits, the Russian Indians, or Eurasians, whatever you want to call them, they didn't know the science of the mound. I've been to powwows and I've asked them about the mounds of Macon, and they don't know. They don't know anything. All they know is they were there when they got there, so therefore they put temples on top of them. They did things around them. They even copied them in some instances, all right? So they had no knowledge of what they were all about, the true meaning and the true science, how they align with the stars, and how they had significance with the earth and the science of earth. Many speak about how we want to get the land back. The indigenous people want to get the land back. Yeah, we want to get the land. There's nothing wrong with that thought. But first things first, you have to attune with your land in order for you to do anything. Okay, the power of nature, the power of the cycles. Okay, earth, fire, air, and water. Okay, which was our way, nature. Bond back with that. Okay, and this is all in the book. I'm not getting off track a little bit, but he goes into how the situation that black people are in, a lot of it had to do with how the founding fathers, whether it's James Madison, whether it's the different people who back in the days knew the science, who planned on positioning certain cities where they're located right now because of how they're on the grids. Okay? Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. Philadelphia would have been the capital, okay, because it has a lot of the geomantic power, okay, but because it didn't face north in a certain kind of way, they had to move it to Washington, D.C. He breaks all that down, breaks down how they built, which I always knew, churches, they built, I'm talking about on top of the mounds now, on top of mounds, which you may not know, okay, they built courthouses, library, the Philadelphia Library, which I'm going to show a picture, I'm going to show you a few pictures after this, built what? On top of a mound. Why did they build on top of these mound sites? Okay? Because they knew, okay, that this is where energy was. So what better place to build your home than a place where you know that energy is, you can access. But we can still go to these places, different places, maybe in your neighbor, not far from you, and meditate and plug in. Okay, just as our ancient ancestors did. And if you know of a place that is something there like a church or whatever, go there anyway and just change the frequency. Because you know what that place is all, you know what that spot is all about. Your ancient ancestors was here on this earth, okay, and built mound points there and knew. And they went in there and not to take it over because they didn't really take it, they're just accessing, okay? And you, the indigenous people of the planet, okay, can access better because your ancestors resonate. Your ancestors built those mounds, okay, and resonated with the earth in that place. And those who came over and took that over, okay, and started to do things with it nefariously, okay, unjustly, okay, tortures, beaten, raped, all those things, okay, but and believe me, the science of geomancy and even the science of necromancy, which people may know what that is, they may not know. I'm not going to get deep into that, but once you realize that they're using the ancient sciences to really control things in America as well as ritual, et cetera, then you got a better understanding of what you're up against. Right now, black people have no clue of what they're against. They shooting people and killing people and doing ritual and doing this and doing that. The last incident with the young lady that got shot by the police in was it somewhere in Texas, was on the full moon. Go back and look and see. All right, what's that all about? Okay, these things happen for certain reasons, deeper than what most maybe perceive. Okay, I don't want to get too deep into all of that, but I want to basically keep on point with the mounds. All right, so I'm going to show some quick pictures, okay, with the mounds and the mound sites. And some where I have been, where I have personally done ritual, okay? I'm not just talking, I've been there, I've done it since 2000, around 2000, whether it's Rock Eagle, whether it's Pilot Mountain, whether it's the Etowah Mounds, whether it's the Okamuji Mounds, I can't say that name, etc. All right, different places of power. I've been, New York City, Mount Morris, there's a mound right in the middle of New York City, Mount Morris. They call it Mount. Whatever they say, Mount something, more than likely it's a mound. Okay, so that was right in the middle of Manhattan Island, of just about Mount Morris Park. They renamed it Marcus Garvey Park now. It's no longer that. But it was an actual ritual site. The whole island was an island strictly for ritual. Okay? And that spot right there is where they went. It was the highest point just about on the island. And the ancient ancestors went there to do ritual there. How many people know that? How many people care? Okay, that was an ancient site. There's ancient sites all around us. We just have to know where they are. And this is where a lot of power lies for us to access. And this is what Ras Ben goes into in the book. So this is one of the most important books, okay, to get. Again, the book is called Free Your Mound. And your mind will follow. All right? Okay. Now, check out these pictures. I'm going to put on some quick pictures for those who are not familiar with mounds and what they are and significance of them. Because some people are not familiar. I know many are. Oh, yeah, I know about okay, that's cool. But you read the book Free Your Mind, a lot of that information, I'm sure you are not familiar with. All right? Some of it you might be. But it's worth supporting the brother and giving him. Matter of fact, they're doing a big presentation. Some brothers up there in New York in November, centered around the book. They're going to have vendors there. It's going to be big. So, look out for that. All right. And, oh, by the way, I want to mention just one last thing before I put on some clips. The Indigenous Day was a great success, okay, the other day. I think 3 states, Michigan and D.C., officially declared it Indigenous Day. Now, all these years, this never really came up until about 2 years ago. I think the first one of the Columbus statue they took down and one takedown was in New York. They got 2 of them in New York. One is still up. But why all of a sudden now is this big indigenous thing now all of a sudden? I mean, they could have done that 10 years, 15 years ago. Why now? Because of the fact over the past 2 years, the indigenous black people of this land have been rising up, have been acknowledging that we are the indigenous people of the land. That's why. Okay, so now the consciousness is overlapping into everything. That's how powerful we are. Okay, get it. Okay, it's no coincidence that now the different states are changing it and acknowledging the power of the indigenous people. The United States apologized, made official apology to indigenous people. All right, I don't know when it took place. Recently, I think. All right, officially. Apologize. Yes, the way of life is right and exact, and we did wrong and all this kind of stuff. Please. All right. So anyway, for the indigenous out there, before we talk about we want to get the land back and all this kind of stuff, okay, well we'll get to that point if it ever comes down to it, whatever. But for now, we need to think about attuning and aligning ourselves with the land, dealing with the cycles, dealing with the mounds, dealing with earth, dealing with the elementals. All right, nature. All right, my religion is nature. Anybody ask me? All right. So, anyway, I'm gonna put on those clips now, so enough of me talking. Y'all can see, what I'm talking about, and give y'all a visual of what this book kind of like centers around. All right. Now it's important to mention how the grids are on ley lines on certain power centers on the continent of North America. The electromagnetic energy, all right, goes around certain parts of the country, and these mounds are on those parts, as you can see in the map. Now, there are different types of mounds, okay, different shapes, different sizes. Some are small, some are round, some may have flat tops, such as this, and all of them are on ley lines, okay, that are all over the United States. The United States is dotted. There's hundreds, possibly thousands. These are just some of the most popular ones and famous ones, but there's smaller ones in certain areas you may not even know. But this is Serpent Mound, one of the most famous ones. This one is Okamuji mound site in Georgia. This one is at a business complex. This one right, a small mound, but they left it there. You probably know what it is. All right, here's another mound. This mound is in Mount Morris Park, New York City. Okay, right in Harlem. Okay, I mean, that's a mound site there. All right, powerful place. I've done ritual there. All right, for the ancient people did their rituals there in the island of Manhattan thousands of years ago. Now these are effigy mounds. Okay, mounds of birds and different symbols, stuff like that. Now this one is popular in Rock Eagle in Edenton, Georgia. I've done ritual there a few times. Very powerful place. And 30 miles from there is Rock Hawk Mound, okay, which in Sparta, Georgia, which they destroyed, excavating and trying to figure out if there was anything in there. The Tomb Raiders, you know how that go. These mounds are in Wisconsin are lined with the stars. Okay. Now, this mound they partially destroyed to make room, of course, for the stores and all of that in back, so you can see what that's all about right there. Here's an example of the flat top mound. Perfect example, yeah. Another one. All right, they built a little temple on top of that to mimic how it used to be back in the days. And now they're really building churches on top of mounds. You may see that often. You may not realize it's even a mound. Okay, here's another small mound with a temple built on it, which is a modern temple. It's not even old. Right here is an older picture of it's a mound, a pyramid, actually step pyramid. Okay, in Philadelphia. And now they built Philadelphia Works around it. There's a museum on top of it. Philadelphia Museum or Library, one or the other. All right, so they totally cloaked it to what it was. Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina, built on an ancient mound, okay, as well. Okay, here's actually a pyramid. It's really old, thousand years, so you can't tell, so worn down. All right, here's a aerial view, of it. Okay, and here's what it looked like. I included the pyramids because it's actually a power center. They put the pyramids on just like the mounds. It's the same principle. Okay, and this is where they had old people living around that mound. They do the same thing to this day in cities. Here's one of the largest pyramids in the world in Brazil. No, I'm sorry, not in Brazil. Guatemala, I think this is it. And here is a place called Pilot Mountain. It's actually a mountain. It's not a mound. Okay, it's not a pyramid, but it's one of the most powerful places in the country. I've been there as well. Okay, you can walk around the top of that. They call it a knob.
Okay, mound gritters manifest their will upon those within the broadcast range of their magnetically charged intentions. So, what the mound gritters do, right, is they are usurping the original purpose of these indigenous mounds, and they're manifesting their will. Do what thou wilt. They're putting their intention, they're putting their will into these quote-unquote sacred mounds. Okay? Mound gritters. No, G-R-I-D-D-E-R. Gritters. G-R-I-D-D as in dog. D-D-E-R. Many founding fathers of the USA mastered control over the indigenous mounds of this region through identifying and occupying indigenous mounds and manipulating the North American mound matrix. Occupying indigenous mounds and manipulating mound matrix prevents the indigenous from fully connecting with spirit, and thus their minds are easier to impel, trigger emotions, and manipulate behavior. Okay? Manipulated mound matrix, indigenous mental magnetic field is incongruent with the magnetized manifested reality. The manipulated mound matrix will manifest the will of the mound gritter. The result for the indigenous is disillusion and delusion. Disillusioned thoughts magnetize toxic, unproductive emotions. Toxic emotions fed by disillusion tend to express as self-destructive, undoing, and unproductive behavior. Sound familiar?
And where the mounds are located. We start off by calling attention. I say I go, y'all say amen. I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
Arawade on yonko ponchedi on ponkwame. Ye chere wonsio na ye ma wonsio. Asase ampone amwa awode emu a wosan na ye adwane die. Mebewu a medanwo. Meti ase a medanwo. Dwe damidi fa dwe.